I started this project when Obama was elected. I was so excited, so happy. I needed to put my joy into something. I needed to find out who to thank. And browsing, I came on the internet, I came across the Freedom Riders. I came across bus boycotters and Freedom Riders and these incredible mugshots. These were young people facing the truth and righting the wrong. Normally a mugshot would be a sign of shame and something to shame people into, but that these were actually recorded, these moments of truth, was amazing. And I knew exactly what to do with them. I wanted to make these portraits. I made a set, and then I was invited to show them at a college. A story in the New Yorker came out about them. The small stipend that I had, I used to find Freedom Riders. This was such recent history. I was so shocked that this was such recent history that I could actually find witnesses, and that really affected me. Learning about the history, learning how it's dependent on people and individuals, each of them a very specific character, and without one of them this wouldn't have happened, I feel. Each of them is really a character in and of himself. I work with a narrow color spectrum: black, white, iron oxide, which is rust, and teal. And the rust is fantastic because it's a process where I don't have control and I have to let go. And it's not about perfection, it's about helping telling the story. Afterwards, I get into collage, and the collage is a contrast. It's about making it more than a painting. It's about bringing in sound bits, sound bites, from music to noise. Noise being the newspaper articles and also the harassing and the violence. But also the music, which was the songs that they sang, which were amazing. And that part really, really touched me, especially when one of the Freedom Riders broke out in song at the one opening at the college. Later on, this show made it to Colorado, to a film festival, and a Nashvilleian saw it and said this had to be in his town. Nashville is where the Freedom Riders came from. So when I was invited to do a show at the downtown public library, I couldn't stop. I couldn't contain myself. I was so excited to do this, and I will try to make as many Freedom Riders as I can to really, really celebrate this incredible feat of these young people. And I have 200 running feet, but that's probably not even going to be enough. Meeting these Freedom Riders was, to me, the most exciting, and finding out stories that helped me think of the collage to add on, bring you back to that moment of truth, of facing the truth, of facing off with the truth. Finding out about a journalist who wrote a story on toilet paper and hid it from the guards. Finding out about the singing and the way people communicated, the way the segregated people and the men and the women communicated with each other by singing, was just amazing. And also realizing the brutality that they faced, and that they still had vowed and kept their vow to nonviolence. The best way to understand this piece of history, this moment that changed all of our history, I feel, for me, is to paint their portraits, to get each one right. I spend a lot of time going over them again and again to make sure that I really get this specific person's character. Some have a lot of anger, some have incredible joy, some are angry and joyous, and some are holding so much inside, and a lot of them feel just so innocent. And you see a detail like a flower on a lapel, and you say, yeah, that's what you wear when you go to a peaceful war, a flower on a lapel. And I hope that I can take an audience right into that moment the way I get into that moment when I paint these pieces.